it. So I'll just take 5 minutes now, and I'll just show you how to get started, enough to be dangerous to our next meeting. Okay, cool. Okay, so just real quick, you can see here, anybody can do this. Go to developer.servicenow.com and you sign up for basically a developer. It's a sign in to their site basically, so that's free. But once you go into developer.servicenow.com, you can go in here and request an instance. So this gets you a free developer instance of ServiceNow, and it takes just a minute or two. I think they've actually kind of pre-spun these up. Used to it took 15 minutes, but I think it's a lot quicker now. But let me click this. ServiceNow lists their releases. You see based on cities, and they update twice a year. So San Diego is the most recent release. Rome, previous Quebec. So we're just going to hit San Diego here and hit request. Now, while this is building, just a couple things real quick. You can see it here. Instances with no activity for over 10 days will be reclaimed. So basically, get in it and log in it every 10 days or it disappears. There's good and bad with that. Obviously, if you did some tweaking, you'd lose them. They did add that restore an instance capability, so you can restore. I don't remember what the timeline is on that, but I would say if you're not active in it, count whatever you're doing and they're gone. Sometimes I've kept them running by just logging back in every 10 days. Honestly, you could probably build an automation to go do that for you, but I'll just see here if this happens pretty quick. But you'll get a very basic and standard instance of ServiceNow up and running. My caveat, right, if you use ServiceNow in your company and you don't have that visibility inside of it, while all the platforms are the same and base tables are the same, the processes and then the extensions that companies do, can be much more than what you could build or what you might not see in this. Everybody in the ServiceNow world tries to stay standard because it makes these upgrades happen much easier. But certainly, it's something that'll get you. If you just build something and expect to deploy it in prod, you have to definitely work with your ServiceNow team. But this will show you enough to where you can. So you can see now my instance is ready. I've got an admin and password. I'm just going to hit open instance. It'll pass that password in for me. But I'm just going to show you the rest side of this and maybe just a minute or two on what they call its Flow, which is their low-code tool. And they did change the UI recently, so a lot of this, the UI is different for me than what I'm used to at work. But what I can do here, I'm going to type in REST API Explorer. And this is where, you'll learn enough to be dangerous. And like I said, I'm just going to stay really high level today. But if you're interested, we could go into a lot more detail later. So everything in ServiceNow, it's all on tables. They're pretty intuitive. You see this because I'm running a developer instance. They're not going to give me all the power you get with a ServiceNow that's up and running. You're on a shared set of infrastructure here. But hopefully when I click on this table, it should drop down and give me some options here real quick. And pretty much everybody, you can see this URL that's here. Almost always it'll be a .servicenow.com unless somebody's done a vanity thing on the front end of it. Okay, so for example, if I want to look at the incident table, I can find incident, and I'm just going to do a get for now. You can see here, latest V1, V2. I'm just going to leave the defaults there so I can do a get. You can obviously add your queries here. I'm just going to go down and hit send. So by doing that, I get a response body, and it gives you, I thought it would only give you like 10, maybe it's giving me all for now in my developer instance, but you can see the URL that was passed in here. You can see I'm on the incident table, and oh yeah, sysprem limit 1. And basically, so it gave me 1 record back, and you can go up above and you can set other parameters to get more records back. But this gives you a body really quick. And then you see here in the middle, do I have zoom it? Let me do zoom it. Let's make this a real formal thing. All right, let's see if Zoom it's in. So now I can actually get some PowerShell script here directly from right here. So if I hit PowerShell, I want to copy that snippet, and I'll just launch the ISE. Now I've got my PowerShell. Now, everything that you're doing here just with REST API Explorer, you're just using basic credentials. And of course, I didn't copy that password when I had it up a little while ago, so I wouldn't be able to use this right now. But this supports everything, OAuth and everything else as well. But if I had that password that was on that initial screen, I could run the script and I could start messing in PowerShell, right, and making calls to ServiceNow. So that's pretty slick. Just one or two more things to just make you dangerous. Obviously, sorry, I'm saying obviously a lot today, but you can do gets and puts. That's all pretty straightforward. Let me go back over and just show you flow real quick. Let me hit this one and see actually just Flow Designer. So this is the low code piece of ServiceNow. And like I said, if there's interest, I'll show in another, I'll do a session and show how to tie this to Power Automate, for example. But just to start one out here real quick, I'll create a flow. You can have flows and subflows and then actions, which are, think of a modular piece. But let me just say, Greg test. For now, I'm just going to keep this in a global, think of this as kind of a domain or a workspace. It's kind of like all systems in config man. Everybody does it in test, but you probably don't do that in production. So now I'm just down to triggers, right? And since I'm in ServiceNow, I can really start looking at things like an incident created or a change request created, right? So it's pretty easy to go that direction. I don't know why I can't select table. Okay, there I can. So I can say when an incident's created, and then I can add some filters. For example, if they're created for a specific group, so the assignment group is, and then I can select an assignment group. I don't know what's in this demo environment, but there, see the database assignment group, for example. So now this trigger will only fire when an incident is created into and assigned to this assignment group. And then from there, then you build actions. So, there's a couple here real quick. Let me see if it's already in here or not. Of course, I'm not going to find it real quick, but you get the idea. Basically, I can kind of do my if this then that's. And I think I have to do some configuration on Integration Hub to be able to do the REST. You can see here, you even have Microsoft Teams there. You can post it to Slack, and there's also a way you can just do a post to REST. So, for example, you could hit an incoming Power App webhook, for example, to trigger things to start. So, but I'll stop there for today. But if you're interested, that's a session I could do in the future and kind of really show that better together. I've done one where triggering actions from Flow, from ServiceNow Flow, or even enriching an incident, right? So a good scenario is, let's say a user submits an incident on their device, and inside of ServiceNow, we trigger automation when that incident's created to go to Graph to pull Intune data and then enrich that ticket in ServiceNow, just as an example. So that's enough for today. I could ramble on that all day. I've done a little bit there, so I have a little passion there. Okay,
yeah, thanks for demoing that, Greg. That's really cool to see some of that stuff. It's something I'm really looking into doing myself. And I think the example I gave earlier was I'm trying to get that ServiceNow data either back into SCCM or back into some other platform that I can use it in. And this looks really awesome and inspirational. So I appreciate you showing me that. And now you gave me a link I can go tinker. So thank you.
Okay, yeah, just enough to be dangerous for today. But yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing more of that, I could share that in the future. And this little bit that I did just now, we'll include that with the recordings that we publish. And let me just show you our website real quick if you're new to NWSCUG. So we have our website. I'll send out something next week saying that our recordings have been posted. we've got our link here for NWSCUG on YouTube, so you can get the information there. And like I said, if you're looking for specific things, send it my way. Yeah. Anybody interested in integrating MinCM with ServiceNow? Yes, I think that would be nice. I think that would be good. And based on some of the things that Russ showed today, I see more opportunity that I can do that. Honestly, just setting up the authentication, it's really easy to set up basic, but no enterprise is probably going to let you move forward with basic. So getting to that next level is a big thing. So, getting that configuration is nice. So yeah, there's your config man spoke. And honestly, I can't remember if this spoke is using the admin service or not. It might go through a ServiceNow mid server, but it's something worth investigating and poking around on.